I don't know why. Tiap kali kalau I akan start my show, whenever I start my show, I go like hi, because I'm just really getting used to all of these fancy buttons and all. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am so thankful, I'm so grateful that my previous video, I actually hit 1,000 views before my first 24 hours. And thank you guys so much. I received a couple of nice DMs on my Instagram and also really nice comments from all of you on my previous video. So I came back with lots more stories for you. Okay, so I've already explained in my previous video that I try to make it all in English because there are so many of you of us who are non-Malays who are probably facing the same problem as all of us are, but in varying degrees, different situations, and not just probably with your mom-in-laws but with your father-in-law, which is quite a real not so common situation, especially when it comes to daughter-in-laws, because we all know that there is always a friction, not always, but there is a higher probability of a friction between a daughter-in-law and her mom-in-law compared to a daughter-in-law and her father-in-law, right? Because that's how the stories that that are around us, that is how it is. But there are people who have real problems with their dads-in-law, such as I'm gonna just call this person who actually sent me her plights. I'm gonna call her let's call her Didi. Okay, so Didi has this real problem with her dad-in-law, with the father-in-law. So can I just share with you right now? If you have a similar problem with the dad-in-law, let me know. And I want to also know from the guy's perspective, do you have a real problem with your dad-in-law? I want to know that. Or do you know of your father having a problem with your wife? And how do you step in? Do you even step in? Okay, so Didi said this. Hi Fiza. So Didi's email is in Malay, most of it. I mean, partially it's in English, but most of it is in Malay. I'm just gonna try to translate it as we go along, spontaneously, because I have received comments from my friends who are the non-Malays, and I'm just so thankful. Thank you guys, thank you girls, yeah, for your nice messages towards me and for me. So here it starts. So Didi said this. I am just married for about a year, and I came back from my honeymoon. When I came back from my honeymoon, the real conflict started with my father-in-law. But in actual fact, oopsie, let me just off this. In actual fact, my conflict with my father-in-law had started even before we got engaged. So you just came back for your honeymoon and the real conflict started with the father-in-law. Okay. And I'm sure this honeymoon was like, way before COVID happened lah. So initially, before his parents he wanted to actually masuk meminang. Masuk meminang is actually a thing that us Malays we do before an engagement process. It is for the guy's family to seek permission from the girl's family to be married or be betrothed to the girl. And so when his parents came over, so his parents wanted me to come over to their house before they came over to my house to ask, for an engagement, so that I can get to know better. I can get to know his parents better. And I was so shocked. I came over to his house, and then his father had a form for me to fill up. I'm like, I had to fill up a form. I was really, really appalled and shocked. It was a form before I got married to his son. So I actually refused to sign the form, because how would I know how the form be used against me? And it was like an application form for me to get married to his son, and I refused to fill up the form. But he and his mom just said, "Alah, you just fill up the most important bits of the form, just like your name, your address, and yada yada yada." So this happened before his father came back home from work. So can you imagine? I came to his house, so his mother took out a form and she said, "Oh, this is a form that his father needs you to fill up." And I'm like, is this funny or what? And so my boyfriend then and his mother convinced me to fill up the form. And the moment his father came back from work, he interviewed me. And FYI, Fiza, his father holds quite a high rank in a kind of a disciplinarian organization. Okay? And so many questions was posed to me about my life, about me as a person, and I felt like, ni I nak kahwin dengan siapa Ini mengalahkan nak kahwin dengan ustaz. Ya, dia tanya macam-macam soalan, so many questions. I felt like I getting married to like a religious leader or something, and I'm not. So I came back home and I was very, very upset. So I poured out everything to my mom when I got back home. And my mom was very upset that she cried. She was like, what is so wrong with my daughter that she is being treated this way? Apalah salah dan dosa anak aku sampai macam gitu sekali diorang buat? So my mom went to meet my husband, which was at that point of time my boyfriend. And my mom requested my boyfriend then to just leave me. She wanted us to break up so much. But my boyfriend refused. He went back home and had a fight with his dad about this. And when his mom spoke up and defended him, unfortunately, his mom was beaten up by his dad, trying to protect me. And then everything became, a lot more subdued until a year later when my boyfriend voiced out again that he wanted to get engaged to me. And again, his father got really worked up. Bapak dia melenting because his son wanted to get engaged to me again. He said, Why you must waste your money? Kenapa nak buang duit? And actually my family wanted to do a very small engagement, a very small celebration. So antara family kenal, oh my goodness. So during the point of time that when this small little engagement happened and his family got to know my family, and everything else, during that process he actually had a tantrum and he got really pissed and got really angry. He just basically threw a huge tantrum. So his whole family ignored his father and continued on with the engagement process. So my parents did not understand what was happening. They were like, apa ni? Macam mana ni? And licin lah nak berbeza dengan orang macam gini. So my parents reminded me again, kalau kekahwinan dia susah, bapak dia macam gini perangai. His father is just a terrible person to try to be with or to try to understand, and it's very hard to be in-laws with such a man. That was what my father and my mother reminded me, that it's susah betul nak berbesan dengan orang macam gini. Yeah, for sure. So at that point of time, me and my husband or my fiance then, we made so much prayers and so much doa. Kita sembahyang sangat, minta doa kalau jodoh kita betul, mudahkanlah semuanya. So we prayed that if this is the right move, may everything be eased. And so what happened was, between me and my fiance, everything was really good. Our relationship was really smooth. We were very happy together. If we were to just put his father out of this relationship equation. But whenever he was inside this equation, everything was just a ruckus. Ini tak boleh, tu tak boleh, this one cannot, that one cannot, everything also cannot. majlis nak grand tapi semua nak free. He wanted like a real proper grand huge wedding, but he didn't want to pay for it. He wanted a free this, free food, free whatever. Padahal kita kahwin ni satu sen pun tak pakai duit dia. When in this entire course of process of marriage or wedding preparation, we were not planning to use any of his money. But his father says, ini pun dia consider duit aku apa. This is considered as my money. But I know it's all my husband's hard-earned money. So that aside, after we got married, he moved to my parents' place. So, the moment we got back from our honeymoon, his father called him over to transfer all of his things from his room to my parents' place. Dia halau, dia kata ambil semua barang-barang kau dari bilik kau ni, kau angkut pergi rumah mertua kau sekarang juga. So, my father bila nampak macam gitu, he was like, laki kau baru kahwin dah kena halau. So my father said, wow, you're like literally chased out of the house the moment you got married. And his father keep on suruh I untuk ramah tamah with his family. His father keep on telling me and reminding me to be very, very friendly with his family, which is my in-laws, which I really tried. I always tried to be nice to every single one. I tried to be very friendly. I tried to have conversations. I tried to do things for them. But it's always his father who always makes things very difficult. Bapak dia selalu naik angin dengan I. And one day, me and my husband tried to go to his house. I reached out and I tried to salam him. Saya cuba untuk nak hulur tangan, salam dengan dia. After he salam my husband, after he, give his hands for my husband to just get his blessings and salam, he quickly went to his room and he slammed the door on us. I don't know. What's with his father? And my husband, seeing all of that, didn't even ask him, dia kenapa ni? Never asked. Because it's really weird. Like, we just came over. I have not done anything that could possibly make him angry. And he didn't even want to respond to my salam. He went to his room and slammed the door on us. I don't know lah. So every single time I tried to talk to his dad just buat bodoh. His father just ignores me. And this, and so I just, I can't do anything. So his father only talks to either his own daughter, which is at their house, or my husband. And then after I got married for 2 months, I got pregnant. And this is the really sad part. My husband pula buat perangai. My husband was so angry why I got pregnant so fast. Why I got pregnant so fast? Oh my goodness. Satu lagi perangai ni pula. Aduh, kata pula kepala aku. And he was like, why? Why didn't you give me time to stabilize my financial side? Why didn't you give me time to actually have more money for this? Because I do not know how to say. I don't know. I mean, this is Allah's plan for us. I have no idea. We never discussed about this anyway. He's never said, to just plan this. He's never had that discussion with me. And then suddenly, all of a sudden, he tells me this. I am not ready to be a dad. Like, all of a sudden. He tells me that. And then every time, kalau I bawa dia pergi check up, every time if I were to bring him for my check up at the gynae, he would be very, very pissed with me. Like, macam asyik marah-marah je. And it's not about money, because every single time we go to the gynae, we go for a checkup, I pick up the bill, I pay for it without his money. And so during the ultra scan, which I was very excited about because it's our baby. So during the ultra scan, he was very unhappy about it, which I was paying for. kalau boleh, and this is a sad part, okay, this is a very sad part. I mean, you didn't say anything about this part, but there was this one short sentence that you said that made me so sad as a mom, as a wife to your child, right? So Didi said this, the ultra scan pun dia tak happy. Kalau boleh, tak nak tengok pun. Tak nak tengok pun. He doesn't get this guy, the father of your child, went for the ultra scan, who's not even paying for this ultra scan, does not even want to see the baby during the ultra scan if possible. How hurtful is that? I mean, whose child is this? What is happening here? I'm not understanding. And so when I was pregnant, and I was 6 months pregnant, it was a challenging pregnancy. I sakit-sakit, mabuk, big hugs to you, man, girlfriend. And then my whole body was bengkak. Oh my goodness. You know, this reminded me when I was, for both of my pregnancies, sidetrack, I was very, very sick. My best friends can testify that for me, and my family members can testify that for me. I was just very sick. I remember that I couldn't eat at all, but I was just bengkak. Like, I was really, really I looked very, very fat. Like, I was bengkak. Like, but I couldn't eat. People could understand that, right? But I was just bengkak air. It was just so bengkak. And then, you know, people, okay, anyway, let's save that for a different thing altogether. So as I sakit, mabuk, my whole body bengkak. I totally feel my girlfriend. I couldn't even walk, you know, for like during my first pregnancy, with Awesome. And anyway, so but I was very, very excited lah kan, because I just got married and I was pregnant. Like, despite me being very sick, but finally my tummy is showing that I'm pregnant with his child. So one day I brought my big tummy over to his parents, and I brought some gifts. I brought lauk-lauk favourite mak bapak dia. I knew what they liked. I knew what lauk they liked, what food they you know, is their favourites. I brought over, and inside my mind was, I wanted to, you know, eat together with them, and lepas tu dapat solat sama-sama, let's do prayers together after that. And the moment I reached there with all this lauk pauk, his father saw us, and once again his father didn't even want to look at me, buang muka terus, and he straight away went and entered his room. So what else? I mean, I was really very sick. So tak jadilah nak makan kat sana. So we left the food there. Tak jadi nak makan. And I was really very sick tau, because I was still working for 12 hours a day. You're not telling me, you not share here what's your job scope, but 12 hours for a job is pretty long. So for 12 hours, balik aja, asyik-asyik gaduh dengan my husband, because my husband will tell me this, that I am not giving him enough attention because I'm pregnant lah, yada-yada. And dugaan demi dugaan, not long after that, my husband kena dengue. Susah Fiza, because I had to take care of him hari-hari, kena ulang alik hospital with my big tummy, and then I have to take 1 week of emergency leave. His father, who knew about his son's condition, who had dengue, didn't even ask how he was, okay? And we told his parents, I told his mom, I told his dad, but his dad didn't even care. And I will always remember, okay, that we went to his house. One day, kena marah, kena hina, kena maki betul-betul. They actually insulted my parents, because apparently my parents belum pergi haji lagi. So, you know, they have gone to haji and my parents haven't. So my parents were insulted, betul-betul kena hina. And then I was also insulted. He said that aku ni setakat belajar kat poly saja. Like, my highest qualification was actually just a diploma, and that's it. Nak mengaji pun merangkak, not like his daughters. And this happened, and this escalated. So he said dia nak buang I sebagai menantu dia. I mean, he's like I'm not even part of his family. Like I'm not even considered as his daughter-in-law. And he doesn't even care about the baby in me. He doesn't even care. He's like, mampus lah. Kalau dia nak ada cucu, ada banyak lagi budak-budak kat luar tu yang boleh panggil dia atuk kat luar. That doesn't make sense. Dia tak perlu untuk nak anak I untuk panggil dia datuk. He doesn't need to be called granddad for my child. So many other kids outside. There's so many other little kids outside who can call him granddad. So he doesn't need to have my child to do that for him. And he said that I can never be a good mother because I have never khatam the Quran, which is finished and complete within the Quran. Just because I have never done that, I can never be a good mom to my child. Oh, so sad. And my kids will be spoiled if I am the one to raise him up. It's all my fault, according to him. And then, to me, the saddest part of this entire fiasco, this entire drama, is how my husband reacted. When his father was insulting me, insulting my parents, insulting my motherhood, insulting me as a mom, disregarding the baby within me, my husband just kept quiet. He didn't even budge. He just listened through and he just ignored it. He didn't even protect me or my child, and that made me so upset. Sedih sangat. I was just so disappointed. Everything berjangka tau. I mean, doesn't he see it? That everything is so ironic. Whatever he says is just whatever he preaches is different from what he does. His father has so many issues with so many people. I mean, just look at him and his own siblings. They are fighting themselves. He doesn't even talk to his siblings, all of his siblings. And when he got married to my mother-in-law, to his wife then, he couldn't even mengaji. He couldn't even read the Al-Quran. He couldn't even read his Alif Bata. So, why talk about me? And then I got to find out that he actually even fought with his own father to get married to my mother-in-law, to his wife then. And he is obviously a very hot-headed person. Asyik nak marah je as a husband. He's always very short-fused as a husband. He's always scolding his wife. And not only that, he's always scolding and laying hands on his wife. What is this? And after the incident, I dah tak pergi lagi rumah my parents-in-law. And after the incident, I just didn't have the heart anymore. Because I was just cursed from up, like from left and right and left. And why should I go over again? I've tried my best. So I just, forget it lah. And by the time that I was 8 months pregnant, my husband, asked me if I wanted to go over to his parents' place. And this time round, my parents actually stopped us from doing so. My parents masuk campur because I couldn't take it. I cried and cried and cried. At that point of time, I cried because I just couldn't take it being 8 months pregnant and being insulted again by his father. I jadi macam orang gila tau. I cried the whole day. And my perut, pinggang, semua sakit. Kesiannya. A few days later, I kept on having bad migraines and tak hilang-hilang. Because I was too stressed and I cried way too much, I went to see the doctor and realised that the baby is not growing too well. Oh dear. I had to admit, I couldn't admit it. I was actually admitted to the hospital because my baby heartbeat was just not regular. My baby's heartbeat was just slowing down day by day. So check. After checking, I was actually forced to do an emergency delivery. Because the gynae was very worried that the baby probably couldn't, breathe if you just, to keep him longer inside me. And I tawakal. I just, redha, berserah pada Allah. And so I delivered to a premature baby. The baby was immediately transferred to NICU because he was having problems with breathing. And I tried to put everything aside. At the point of time, I was just like, forget it. The most important thing is my baby and the relationship I have with my husband. So when my son was in NICU for 2 weeks, I had to stay for just a week. I still made dua, and I made prayers, and I just hoped that his grandfather, which was obviously his grandfather on his dad's side, his paternal one, was moved enough to know that his first grandson was in the NICU, was born prematurely in the NICU, and probably he had some grace, kindness within him to go and visit his grandson in the NICU. But he never came. The one that came was my mom-in-law. She came to visit me, and this is what she said. She said, "Mak datang sembunyi-sembunyi, terpaksa." She had to come and see me in secrecy because her husband had prevented her from coming to visit me and my son. So I was like, what kind of person this is Ni orang apa ni And at that point of time, I was just like, baru aku doa, barulah. I just this juncture that I was just making praise and dua that please make him come. I forgive him for what he does, for what he did. I really want him to see my son. And suddenly I just snapped. I'm like, you know what? I've had enough. And then I decided that I'm never gonna let my son see that man. He is out of our life. Okay? And after that, me and my husband stopped talking about his dad. And then we became okay. I realized that as long as it's just me and my husband in the equation, in this thing together without his father being in it, we are okay as a family, as a unit. But the moment we mention his father, I yang akan naik angin. The moment he mentioned his father's name, I just cannot. I just remember back everything that he's put me through. When I got pregnant, when I gave birth, and then his auntie came along. Kononnya counselor lah. So his auntie came along, jumpakan, dia nasihatkan untuk jumpakan my son and the father of my husband. I know that kalau kita pergi, kita akan kena halau. To me, cara dia cakap tu was like nak cucuk-cucuk my husband to make my husband pissed with me and then disturb our marriage. Because I know I will go back there with my husband and my son. Nanti yang kena maki I juga. It has happened so many times, countless time. I know. Kalau I pergi sana, yang kena maki I dengan anak I. My son is just a baby. I really cannot take this. I just gave birth. I kena besar dengan my husband. And I reminded him of all the times that I kena maki time and again. Kena maki. I reminded him. And then he got angry with me. He said that, look, in this situation, I am in the wrong because he was not ready yet to be a father. And then suddenly I got pregnant. When I got pregnant, suddenly his father had discarded him and my son because I got pregnant too early. And then my husband also threatened to divorce me. Dah. Perlu pula baca cerita ni kan. My husband then threatened to divorce me. And then he said this, I tak halalkan makan minum you. Okay, I don't know whether you can understand this in Malay, but he's like, so in Malay, if we say this, aku tak halalkan makan minum kau, it's a big deal because whatever we eat and drink must be halal, right? So if someone gives us food, gives us drinks, we must make sure that this is a gift and halalkan tak, which means do you give your blessings for me to eat this. And now the husband is saying that whatever he's given to me or to Didi is not halal. He doesn't restu it anymore. He doesn't allow it. Yeah, he doesn't halal it anymore, which means it's now haram. Which is weird, right? Because it is his responsibility as a husband. I really should get Ustazah to share with me whether does this even make sense. Can a husband do that to a wife? Like when he gets angry, he says that, okay, throughout this entire marriage of like a year or 2 years or 3 years or 10 years, aku tak akan halalkan semua makan minum aku bagi kau. Because when we got married, right, before we get married, we go through all these religious classes, and then the ustaz or the ustazah will tell us that it is the husband's responsibility to provide for the wife. There is nafkah for the wife and food and shelter and everything for the wife kan. So and in basic like food lah. So now that he says, now aku nak ceraikan kau, jangan sampai aku ceraikan kau. He said that aku macam nak ceraikan aku. Maaf, sorry. So I'm just very disturbed. So the husband actually threatened nak ceraikan dia and tak halalkan makan minum dia. So I tak tahu sekarang, and now I don't even know whether it's gugur talak, whether it's really talak one already, and if I should return back his duit nafkah for the entire year that we got married. I really have no problem untuk to give back his entire nafkah money. Nafkah is actually that amount, that the money of responsibility that the husband has promised the wife for every month, and that nafkah encompasses things for the wife to buy, necessities for the wife to buy. It's a monthly kind of like a token of love, of money for the wife. And I was thinking like, wait, if I really have to give back his duit nafkah, I will have, because I do, I do save quite a bit, and I think right now my gaji, which is my pay, my monthly pay, and my savings will be more than enough to support me, my child, and my aging parents, because I really am stressed with this. Okay, now this is the part that I am actually quite I don't know whether you should do it at all. I mean, you were pregnant with his son, right? Or I don't know whether it's a son. Yes, son. All of your checkups with his son, for his son, he never paid for a single one. And I could expect that going to the hospital or going for the checkup was also not paid by him. It was on you as well. Look, you have already spent so much, and I should think if he doesn't want to spend for your checkups or even see his son during the ultra scan, which means when you gave birth, the entire cost was also borne by you, right? Even though probably you can claim for your company, there is a portion that you must pay for yourself. I'm sure that was also borne by you. So you've already taken up the responsibility of that portion. I do not know why are you so graceful enough to pay him his entire years of nafkah when it is his responsibility. I think that I understand your anger, like aku tak nak makan duit kau langsung, I get it, but I don't encourage you to open up that floodgate for him. I do encourage you to go and get a lawyer, like right now. Go and get a lawyer. I mean, I'm sure that you can get a lawyer online. Everyone's going online, and there is a national care hotline that you can actually call right now. Just Google National Care Hotline and you will see the number that is 24 hours. This National Care Hotline actually literally has real legit psychologists, social workers and everything else. Tell them all the situation and ask if you could be connected to a lawyer or something, and basically if you were to Google like Muslim lawyers, Sharia lawyers, there's so many of them, and I hope that you're actually seeing this video and you can actually reach out to me, because I really want to know your update. And she says this, Didi says this, I really tak tahan, I cannot understand this. I'm sorry if my story is too long. I hope you can summarize it. I'm sorry, I actually read everything. I tak tahan. I cannot tahan for you, babe. I cannot tahan for you. I kesiankan sangat because I know I am not gonna delve too much into it, because I know if I were to delve much into it and really every day, read about your plight and understand it, I will get very emotional about it. Because when you are pregnant and you're very sick, means you're very sick and you have no time to be sick with other people's bad attitudes. And for you to go through all this, being heavily pregnant, being at the beginning of a pregnancy, mid pregnancy, till the end, till you give birth, till your husband went to end ICU, you're gonna maki hormone. I cannot take it for you. I don't know how your parents feel about it. I don't know. I think they're a lot sadder than you are, because as parents now myself, I think that whatever bad thing or unpleasant thing that probably happened to my son, I can feel it like a tenfold worse. I'm like, I'll cry because that's my son. And can you imagine your parents crying behind closed doors and not telling you about it? How sad they are that their daughter is facing all this crappy thing from such undeservingly parents-in-law, or especially father-in-law. Can you imagine how much they're crying for their grandchild who deserves to be loved but discarded by his paternal grandfather, and probably his own father who refused to even love him while he was inside you? Can you imagine everything that's going on within your parents' mind? Please don't make any apologies for how you feel. I mean, that's how I feel about this situation. So I am so sad. So as I advise you, I think first step right now, go and get a lawyer. Right now, I don't know how's your living arrangements like with your husband, because no interaction with the same household. I don't know how it is. I'm not gonna assume how it is right now. You're probably together with your husband who's with you at home, or I don't know. But what I know is, don't make any irrational decisions and promises that you might regret. Like, I'm gonna give you back one whole year of your nafkah that you gave him before, or I'm gonna do this, this is what we're gonna do. I think it's best to talk to someone that is very rational. Talk to your parents when he is not around, behind closed doors. I think your parents really have a level, really have a steady head. They've been advising you, but they've never been very hard on it. Get your parents' opinion, get your best friend's opinion if they do know about it, get a third party's opinion, and see what are your options as a mother, as a daughter to your parents, and as a partner to your husband who wants to leave you and you also can't take it anymore. So all the best. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dan I always heard this and I believe it. Doa orang teraniaya tak ada hijabnya. And this is something that I want to share with you also. No matter what you're facing in life, be a struggle that you face with your in-laws, or not even within your family members, probably you're facing with any external parties, be it at work or I don't know, or business partners or whatever. I really hope that doa-doa orang yang tak aniaya Ramadan ni akan dimakbulkan Tuhan, and may you be given greater protection against them, and may you never have to interact with people who oppress you anymore. Amin. I'm going to see you again in my next video. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, please do subscribe to me and press the notification button if there is. And so I'm going to upload my next video really soon. Thank you so much again for your support and your comments, and of course every single comments I get on my DM as well. Follow me on my Instagram if you haven't. Follow me on my Facebook if you haven't. And you know my email address. I'm going to see you soon again, insyaAllah. And Alhamdulillah, we're now in the last few days of Ramadan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Fiza O out. I gotta go now. I'm going to see you really soon.